Hey there, and welcome to your Airdrie Real Estate Market Update for November 2024. We've got just a couple months left in our year here in 2024. So we're going to take a look at the trends that are happening in our market right now and see if we can paint a picture of how the market is performing here in Airdrie. And make sure that you stay tuned to the channel here, as I'm going to be putting out my 2025 market predictions video next month, as well as looking back at my 2024 predictions to see if I was on track or if I was way off. So make sure you subscribe to the channel below so that you don't miss that one. And if you remember last month, we saw the upper part of the market really struggling pretty bad into the fall. Now we're going to get into the numbers right now and see if anything's changed in our market over the past month. So starting off first with our general City of Airdrie numbers, here you can see that we had 154 sales in October, which is pretty even with the 151 sales we saw in September, and we had 231 new listings come to the market within the month. Now this is lower than the 264 listings we had in September, but that's a pretty expected drop in new listings due to the time of year. But with those new listings, our inventory has come up to 365 active listings here in the city, which is a slight jump over the last month's 349. Nothing too alarming here, but it should be noted that typically inventory does go down through October into November, and just 2 of the last 10 years we've seen inventory increase into November, so that's something to keep an eye on. Now, higher inventory number going into the slower winter months could mean a higher month's supply, but looking at our current overall month supply, we're sitting at 2.37 months. Now this does fall in a balanced market, leaning closer to that seller's market, but it is up from the 2.3 months we saw last month. Now if we continue to see inventory rise into the winter, we could start to see this number climb into the new year, but we'll just have to keep an eye on it for now as we get through November and December. Now we did see a fairly large swing in our average days on market this past month, up to 38 days on average from 30 last month. Now this is an average days on market of all the homes that actually sold within the month, so to see an 8-day swing is fairly uncommon. It usually moves up or down a bit slower than that, so we'll definitely want to keep an eye on this number throughout the winter as well. And lastly, the overall benchmark price, it did go down 0.42% last month, down to a benchmark price overall in Airdrie of $546,300. Now this is the 5th month in a row that we're seeing the overall benchmark price trending down here in the city. Now knowing that, you're not going to be surprised to hear that we've also seen 42% of the current active listings do at least one price reduction so far, which is slightly more than we saw last month at this time. Alright, well now moving on to the styles of homes here in Airdrie, we're going to break it down into semi-detached, detached, townhomes, and apartments as we always do. And we're going to see how each style of home in our market is performing right now. And starting first with our detached homes, here we had 94 sales in October, which is higher than the 81 we had in September, and we also saw 128 new listings. This actually brought our detached inventory down from 223 listings last month to 216 listings to start November with. Now that lower inventory, coupled with our higher sales here, made the month supply come down as well to 2.3 months for our detached homes. Still in the balanced market, but definitely a bit stronger than how things were looking last month. Now we did see the average days on market jump up to 42 days this month though, which is a big jump over the 32 days on average we saw last month. And we also saw the benchmark price move down again for detached homes. It actually went down 1.1% this time, down to a benchmark price of $644,700. Now that is a fairly large decrease to see in the benchmark price, but since benchmark is typically delayed a bit, I'd expect we see that number come down some more before the end of this year. Now moving on to semi-detached homes, here all of our numbers are basically the same as last month, other than the prices. Now we saw 15 sales within October, 22 new listings, and that left us with 26 active listings to start November with, and a month supply of 1.73 months. So we are still in a seller's market here in the duplex market, but the benchmark price is moving down here as well. Not quite as much as the detached homes, but the semi-detached benchmark price is down 0.9% in the last month. And now taking a look at the townhomes or row housing here in Airdrie, here we saw a larger shift in activity this month. We saw 31 sales in October, which is down quite a bit from the 42 we had the month before, and we had 57 new listings within the month. So this brought our townhouse inventory up to 90 active listings, and this gives us a monthly supply of 2.9 months. Now that's the highest monthly supply of any of the different styles of homes right now, and it's a big shift from the 1.79 month supply that we had just last month. So it definitely looks like things are starting to shift for the townhouse market now as well. And as for the benchmark price here, we know it's a bit delayed in the stats, but we did see a slight drop down 0.16% for the month. Now what's interesting here is you're seeing the shift in the townhouse market, and what we've seen over the last couple of years is that the condos and townhouses have been super busy and the detached stuff has started to back off a bit. But now what we're seeing is those townhouses prices started to catch up enough to the detached supply that I think now we're starting to see some of those buyers on the higher end of the townhouse market thinking, oh, well, if we're this high, we might as well go for the cheaper price detached home and not be in the townhouse. So it's kind of the ebbs and flows that you get between the styles of homes in the market. And now lastly, let's take a look at our apartment style condo market here in the city. Here we had 14 sales in October and 24 new listings. Now this gave us an inventory of 33 homes and 2.36 months of supply. This is the fourth month in a row that we're seeing the month's supply increasing for condos, and it's up quite a lot from the 0.92 months that we had just a few months ago in July. Now since the benchmark price stats are delayed, it is still showing a price increase for the month, but the real-time market prices are starting to move down for condos right now. The benchmark price that we're showing right now does show an increase of 0.46% for the month, but I think starting next month we'll probably see that number starting to come down just a bit. And last month, just 20% of the condo sales had done a price reduction prior to selling, and of the current active inventory we have right now for condos, 30% have already done price drops. And this tells me that we're seeing the condo market slowing down quite a bit right now. Alright, so now that we've looked at the styles of housing, let's take a look at the price ranges in Airdrie to see how the market is performing in each price range. And starting first with the $0 to $300,000 price range, here we had 10 sales in October and we currently have 20 active listings. Now this gives us exactly 2 months supply in this range, which is a big jump over the 1.2 months that we had just last month. This here is a pretty good indication that the lower condo market is in fact slowing down quite a bit moving into the winter months, as those are the type of properties that are in this price range. And now looking at the $300,000 to $500,000 range, here we had 44 sales within October and we currently have 84 active listings. This gives us 1.9 months supply, which is slightly higher than the 1.68 months last month, but still keeps us in the range of a technical seller's market. Now what is interesting in this range though is that of those 84 active listings, 44% of them have already done at least one price drop. Now that's a lot of price reductions and definitely indicates to me that we'll probably be seeing this range moving into a balanced market within the next month. And moving on to the $500,000 to $700,000 range, here we had 72 sales in October and we currently have 170 active listings, which puts us at 2.36 months supply here in this range. And what's interesting to me is that actually a fewer percentage of active listings in this range have done a price reduction. 41% of them have, as compared to the 300 to 500 range, where 44% of them have reduced their price. Now this isn't a huge difference, but I would have expected those numbers to be the other way around, if anything, and having more price reductions in the slightly higher price point. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. Now looking at our $700,000 to $900,000 range, and here's where things have really gone downhill for the market lately. So let's see if anything has changed in the last month. So here we actually had 24 sales in October and we have 83 current active listings, which gives us a month's supply of 3.45 months. Now, although this is the highest month supply through the ranges so far, it's way better than last month. Last month we had 6.7 months of supply, which put this segment very much in a buyer's market. At 3.45 months, that actually brings the 700 to 900 range back into a balanced market moving into the winter months. And lastly, let's take a look at the 900,000 and above market here in Airdrie. Now last month we had 8 months supply, which is an extreme buyer's market. So we're going to take a look to see if that's changed at all in the last month. So right now, for the 900 plus range, we had 4 sales in October, and we currently have 18 active listings. This nearly cuts the month's supply in half from last month, down to 4.5 months. Now this is still buyer's market range, but it is much better than the 8 months supply that we had here last month, and it's getting closer to that balanced market territory that we see between 2 and 4 months. So what I'm seeing that's interesting in these price range breakdowns this month is that the lower ranges saw slowing numbers from previous months, where the higher ranges saw a bit of improvement as compared to recent months. Now there continues to be some shifting in our market as the year goes on, as you'd expect, so it'll be interesting to see how things go through the winter and into 2025. Now, if you want to stay up to date on what's going on, what I think might happen through the winter, I'm going to be releasing my 2025 market predictions next month, as well as looking back at my 2024 predictions to see if I was on track or not. And if you want to take a look at those 2024 predictions now, you can watch that video right here, see if it lines up to kind of where we're at right now. Again, my name is Brad Walker with Redline and Real Broker. I hope you learned something about our market today, and we'll see you in the next video.